One thing about Dart is he was very, very focused. He couldn't help it. It was almost bad for him.
He was tremendously driven and compassionate.
He was a man with a ton of integrity, but most importantly, he was a natural-born leader.
He was one of those guys that followed his passions. And the things that he did with passion.
In the course of nearly 4 decades at Winter Park, the late Bob Dart was known to be stubborn, generous, ornery, kind, and brilliant, often simultaneously. In 37 years as a Winter Park Resort employee, he served as a member of the race crew, snowmaker, competition center director, and finally, director of mountain maintenance and lift maintenance. Arriving in the Fraser Valley from his native California in 1977, it was a love of hang gliding that actually brought Bob to Colorado.
When Dart came to Colorado from California, he hang glided, and when he got to Denver, he did it for a living, test flying hang gliders that weren't really for sale yet. When he got to Winter Park, he skied, and I think both of them he referred to as freedom.
He began working for Winter Park in 1978, and his many distinguished accomplishments are dwarfed by the affection held for him by every coworker, athlete, and person in Grand County and beyond whose life he touched.
He was really a detail guy, and he also wanted to know all about the people that worked for him. Not just who they were, what their backgrounds were, but what they were concerned about and what they wanted to do and how he could help them.
He was on trail crew and race crew early on, and he was competition center director, where he impacted so many families and skiers and snowboarders in their careers, and then moved on to lift maintenance and slope and snowmaking. So he touched so many different elements of the industry and the resort that he was like one and the same with the resort, and his understanding and knowledge of the resort was absolutely amazing.
His vast knowledge of the ski industry was only possible because it sprang from a deep love of skiing and skiing Winter Park. Through Bob's work with the Winter Park Competition Center, he became immersed with the U.S. Ski Association, becoming a highly respected voice in the world of ski competition.
His quiet and passionate leadership style really achieved a lot of good things for U.S. ski and snowboard and for our athletes.
In the world of ski racing, he was committed to the athletes and to make sure that things were done properly and that the organizations could do the best possible job.
Bob began his USSA career on the Rocky Mountain Division Board, along with serving as commissioner of the Great American Ski Chase Cross-Country Ski Marathon Series in the 1980s. In his role at Winter Park, he oversaw over a dozen U.S. national championships and played an important role in bringing the U.S. Alpine Championships together with the NASTAR National Championships.
Bob had respect for the race course 110%. He respected the racers, the people who built the course, the people who maintained the course. That's why his races came off so well.
How do you set a better course? How do you groom things better? How do you time better? How do you judge better? And most importantly, how do you make it safer? And that was always Bob Dart.
In 1989, he began a long career as a FIS technical delegate, serving as TD for the 2005 Alpine World Ski Championships in Bormio, Italy, as well as the 2011 Hahnenkamm Downhill World Cup in Kitzbühel, Austria, among many other assignments.
Bob loved ski racing, and it was his opinion that if he could get kids and adults involved in ski racing, then they learned a better way to do the sport. It made them safer, and most importantly to Bob, it gave them a passion for the sport, and it made them lifelong skiers and riders.
Despite being an older school guy and a ski racer at heart, open arms he had to snowboarding and slopestyle and halfpipe and terrain parks, and he saw all those new opportunities of new sports and people coming into the sport to help drive that enthusiasm and the lifelong enjoyment of what he felt so passionate about.
As a volunteer committee and board leader, he served 16 years as head of the USSA Rocky Mountain Division Board and led the FIS NORAM Cup subcommittee for nearly 2 decades. He was a member of the USSA Board of Directors from 1992 to 1997 and again from 2005 to 2014 when he played a vital role in the McKinsey study, which has helped change the face of USSA governance. His influence within USSA is exemplified by the many honors he received from the organization, including the 1992 Paul Bacon Lincoln Award, the 2006 West Haven Award, the 2007 Bud and Mary Little Award, and the 2011 John Clare Award. But while his work with USSA allowed him to travel to all corners of the globe, Winter Park was always home to Bob, and he was a valuable member of the community, serving on the board of the Winter Park Ranch and Sanitation District. He was also a retired member of the East Grand Fire Protection District, where for 26 years he was a firefighter, captain, board member, and board president.
I think it was his inner strength and his commitment. He would call me at 2 o'clock in the morning at home and say, hey, one of the cats broke down on the ski slope. I'd say, one, why are you listening to your radio at 2 o'clock in the morning? And two, I can't fix it from home in bed. Call a mechanic and turn off your radio. He was so committed, he listened 24 hours a day. That was the way he operated.
The joke that Bob had forgotten more about the ski industry than most people had ever learned was humorous, only in its absurdity, because Bob never forgot anything. His knowledge of the ski industry and his ability to recall details made him like the North Star, a fixed reference point for nearly every scenario one might encounter. There was never a need for manuals or instruction books with Bob Dart in the room.
You know, when you're in a crisis, whether it's a forest fire or it's some disaster that you'd never even thought about, you needed relationships to get things done. Bob was so calm. He would put together a plan. He had strong leadership skills, and he made things happen. And I can tell you, when we had a crisis, I felt good when Bob Dart was on scene with us.
Bob passed away in November of 2015 while working on the mountain he loved. As every person that works at Winter Park can attest, Bob wanted everyone to have the best season possible and to keep flying.
What was great was that everybody knew how hard Bob worked, and they took with them during that period of grief and pain that we all needed to work hard and work through it, because that's how Bob was.
Bob, we really miss you. We are so happy that we had a chance to get to know you. You've left an incredible legacy. People are doing things they're doing today because of all the work you did.
Congratulations to Bob Dart, my wonderful friend, and to his family and friends. Thank you.
Melissa, thanks and congratulations on picking up Bob's award.
We congratulate you, Melissa, in Bob's honor for this wonderful tribute to Bob's life.
We are proud to welcome Bob Dart to the Colorado Snowsports Hall of Fame this evening as an honored member of the class of 2018.